Welcome back to Blissful Body Journey. My name is Karen Gottlieb and I'm on this journey with you to find balance and bliss within our own bodies. Today I'll be guiding you through a series of gentle yet effective exercises designed to target and relieve lower back discomfort. Whether you're dealing with sciatica, aches and pains, or sacral issues, these exercises are tailored to help you feel better and move with greater ease. Okay everyone, before we get started on our rescue lower back exercises, I wanted to share with you a few things that can really help your lower back. These little balls, they changed my life. I love these little balls. They're called Franklin Method balls. You can get them on Amazon. They're about the size of tennis balls and they're really squishy. You could also go to Walgreens or CVS and try to find kids balls that are the same size. You could also use tennis balls. Things like this will work. You could also, if you don't have anything like this around the house, you could also use a block, like a yoga block, or roll up a towel to put it on under your hips as well. The idea is just to give your lower back more room to pull your stomach in more effectively. And then other things we're gonna need are things to stretch with here, which we're gonna do our stretch first. You might wanna use a TheraBand or a yoga strap if you have yoga straps around, or this is like basically 3 pieces of an old towel that's braided. So you could also make your own little yoga strap at home if you needed to or wanted to, and you can also just use an old towel over your foot. So the first thing we're gonna do is my favorite stretch to open up your back, to open up your psoas, which is a muscle that's in your hip flexor. It goes from the lower back, L5, and it runs through your hip and attaches to your thigh bone. And it's one that if it gets really tight, it can start pulling on your lower back. So this should help with this, and also your QL, which is a muscle in the side from the ribs to the hips. And that's one that is usually suspect when you have lower back problems. So we're gonna start with the stretch. So we're gonna put the band over one foot, right? And we're gonna bring the leg to the ceiling. Now it doesn't have to be high, it can be really low like this, okay? And then the idea here is to keep this hip long. What happens a lot of times when people go to stretch their legs here, they lift their hip up and they bring the leg up really high because they're really focused on getting like this high rocket kick kind of leg. But we're not gonna focus on that with this one. We're gonna bring the leg a little lower, and we wanna focus on this hip staying down and our lower abs up here. And we're just gonna flex and point our foot a couple of times. You wanna think of the heel reaching to the ceiling and the toes really pulling back. So it's almost like you want your heel to go past the toes, right? And you're just going to do this a couple times, pulsing it. You wanna feel like you can feel this muscle in the front of your shin contracting. This is your tibialis anterior. You wanna feel that muscle. And then you're gonna circle your ankle a couple times, right? So you're gonna try to point and pull it over to one side, and then flex, and then try reversing that. And you wanna try to do this without moving your knee at all. Right, so you don't want to move the leg to move the foot. See if you can just isolate the ankle. And then you can floss the foot side to side, right? And then you can put both ends of your band in your opposite hand. So I'm gonna hold with my left hand, got my right foot in the band. I'm gonna press my hip down again, and then we can bring it over to the side here. You wanna think of this like spinning, right, in this direction and dropping this hip down. Just to show you, we don't want this where we're all crunched. We wanna try to drop it down and create that space, right? Then you're gonna bring your right hand to the floor. If you feel like it's okay for your back, you can let this hip come off the floor, but if you feel any pain, then stop. Just keep your hip here on the floor. But if this feels good, you could come over in a twist and then continue to drop this hip down, reach the heel and pull the toes back. You might feel the stretch here, you might feel it here, you might feel it behind the knee, depending on where you're tight. It can change from day to day. Also, you want to think of keeping your stomach pulled in and up and dropping the back down, right? Then we're gonna come back to center when you're ready. You hold that for like 30 seconds or so. And then we're gonna stretch to the outside. So we're gonna take this right leg out and then bring this opposite knee in so that you can keep your hips well balanced on the floor, and you're gonna stretch like Peter Pan here, right? So what I mean by keeping the hips balanced is a lot of times when we stretch like this, people will kind of come over to one side, or they'll come over to the other side. Try to keep both hips balanced and just stretch as far as you can in that balanced position here. And then we'll switch sides, right? So you're gonna flex and point, good. Hopefully you feel like this leg is longer now. I kind of feel better in my hips now. Flex and point, again, really push the heel forward to the ceiling and pull the toes back so you feel like maybe a little bit of stretchy discomfort in the back of the knee, right? And just pulse it. You wanna feel this muscle, again, tibialis anterior. And then again, watch your hip on the side. A lot of times, we get into this kind of stuff. Drop the hip, take the leg a little bit lower. We're having the focus on opening up the QL and the psoas muscle here. It's a little different. Circle your foot, reverse the circle, floss the foot. So we're moving the fascia in the foot, right? And trying to open that up. So if you've got plantar fasciitis, you're also taking care of that with this stretch as well. So you're gonna take the opposite hand, right hand, bring it across. Really think of like this spinning of this leg, like it's spinning this way. Drop your hip down, keep your stomach in and up. And then we'll bring the leg across, drop the hip down some more and look to the left if you're twisting. If this really hurts your back in any way, like just really bad pain, come back and just keep the hips square on the floor. If it feels good to twist here. And then remember, what we're trying to do is get more room between your ribs and your hip here. So you want to drop that hip down as opposed to this kind of thing where we scrunch in. We're opening up the rib to the hip. Good, and then we're gonna flex the foot, pull the toes back, then we're gonna rock back. Try to keep both hips even. Just pull this knee to your chest here and then stretch both to the outside. Try to keep the hips even on the floor. Try not to, swing side to side, but just keep both hips evenly pressed to the floor and level to the floor there. Good. And then you're gonna wanna do that one more time quickly. So you're gonna flex and point, right? Do the circles, reverse the circles, floss your foot. Really good again for plantar fasciitis. You could move your band in a different spot if you wanted to get a different spot. Both ends in the hand opposite, bring it across, drop the hip. Make sure you're trying to drop the hip. So I'm trying to show this is what we don't want, this is what we do want, right? And that can take a lot of thought. So don't worry if you don't get it right away. Flex your foot, pull your toes back. You can do the twist if it feels good, and you're still trying to keep that hip down and get space between the ribs and the hips here. Don't forget to breathe. Good, right? So try to breathe into the side ribs here and into the back ribs as much as possible, keeping the front ribs in so you keep your abs engaged. Good. And then we'll stretch to the outside again, Peter Pan. This one's a little bit easier for me. And then let's switch sides. Good. Flex and point. Really reach the heel. Pull the toes back. Again, circle. Reverse the circle. Rock side to side. Good. Both in the hand opposite. Bring it across. Drop. Make sure you're dropping that hip. Kind of think of a spiral outward, like a barbershop pole. I don't know. Good. And then look to the left if you want to do the twist. Press the hip down. Make sure you're getting that space. Lower stomach in and up. What's easy to have happen here too is arching your lower back. So try to keep that stomach pulled in and up in the belly button to the spine, right? And then we're going to stretch again like Peter Pan to the outside, trying to keep both hips evenly balanced on the floor. Good, and then let's put your band here to the side. Just bring your knees to your chest for a moment. We'll rock side to side. And here's where we're gonna get the balls. These are amazing, especially if you know that you have like a lordotic back. So lordosis is when you have an extra big curve in your lower back here, right? So we're gonna take these balls and we're gonna put them right under your glutes here. So they're going to not be at the waist, they're gonna be lower than the waist and kind of out to the sides here. See if you can see that, just right into your glutes, find a comfortable space. So now I have this space under here so that I can pull my stomach into it and tuck my tailbone under. It's called scooping in Pilates, but what they mean is to kind of try to let that stomach relax in and up, and then you're really using your transverse abdominis, which is your deepest layer of abdominal muscles, right? So we're going to just rock the pelvis, like so we're gonna scoop in, and then we're gonna rock out. Inhale, and then exhale, we're gonna scoop it in. And if we think of our pelvis as a clock, we have 12 o'clock at the belly button, then 3 o'clock over here at the right hip. Good, and then 6 o'clock here at the pubic bone, 9 o'clock at the left hip, right? So we're going from 12 to 6 here now, right? We're just scooping it in and then rotating it out. Now, if you don't have the balls, you can always put the towel, or I'll show you with the block. If you have the block, again, you're not gonna put it at the waist because you want this space under here, and you're just gonna scoop in and then release, and scoop in and then release. So you can use this. You could also use, like, if you have rollers at home, foam rollers work too under your hips. It's a little higher, but it could still work. Good, I'm gonna use these balls because they're my favorite. Okay, gonna scoop in. Then we're gonna go from, we've done 12 to 6. This is very hard. We're gonna try to go from 3 to 9. So now I'm using my pelvis like a teeter-totter in this direction. And notice that I'm not moving my knees a lot here. I'm trying to just isolate my pelvis, which can be really hard. So just do your best, right? Keep the belly button closed like a suction cup down to your back, and then a little pressure into the ball under the right hip, and then a little pressure into the ball in the left hip. So now as you push down with the right, the left will come up a little bit. As you push down with the left, the right hip will come up a little bit. So that's okay, right? So we're just shifting the hips. Then we're gonna try to move the hips in a circle. We're gonna try to go 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, and then keep breathing any way you like, in and out. And then we're gonna try to reverse the circle. We're gonna go to the left hip, and then pubic bone, right over to the right, and then back to 12 here at the belly button, right? Really get the tuck here. Then we're gonna go here, over to this side, 9, 6, 3, 12. Let's just do one more. You might feel like one side is a lot stickier than the other, and that's totally normal. And it's just good information to have, and that might be part of the problem. Maybe you're weaker on your left side with your pelvic floor muscles, for example, because this also works pelvic floor muscles. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna let one knee go out to the side here, and then you can adjust the ball, but the ball is going to massage and put pressure up into your glute to help you release tension there. And that's really gonna help your lower back open up. And then you can just switch to the other side. Now you'll kind of come off the other ball here, but just keep it there under your hip, ready to go. But you just lean over a little bit to just really get the ball into the opposite glute here. So I'm gonna lean over here. Good, it massages into my, I would say it's in my glute near my hip on the side here, right? So it's, again, lower than my waist, and then we're gonna switch sides and just let that ball do its thing. Like, just let it might feel tender, like as if you were getting a massage and someone pushed on you and you were tight, it might feel tender like that, and that's totally fine. If there's pain, then maybe that's a problem. Then let's come back to center. Really quickly, we'll stretch the right leg out long, pull your left knee in, and here we're just opening up the hip and the psoas again here, and the hip flexor, so like your quad muscle here. Good, and then just switch sides. Lower stomach in and up. Try to think of your stomach melting in and up this way and your leg reaching out that way. You can flex the foot or do whatever feels good here. Then we're gonna bring both knees in together here. Okay, and then we're gonna tap our toes. You're gonna tap the right toe and the left toe. And the important thing to remember here is don't think about this as tapping far away from you. You wanna take this foot and like you're trying to kick your heel right to your glute and tap it in as close as you can right under you. I just grabbed my ankle to show you. So it's like you're squeezing something under your knee, and that'll activate your hamstring, the back of your thigh, which will help you open up the front of your thigh, which will help your lower back open up, right? So we wanna, get those hamstrings to fire a little bit, right? And this is a subtle way of doing it, but really effective. So we're just gonna do that one more time, side to side. Try to kick that heel to the glute. Then we're gonna stretch both legs up to the ceiling. This is important to remember. I have stretchy hamstrings, so I can go straight like this. But most people don't have that much hamstring flexibility. So if you wanna bend your knees a little bit, that's perfectly fine so that your lower back is safe, okay? Then you're gonna open up the legs, inhale, just this much, just about like a foot apart. And then exhale, pull that stomach in. Think of the stomach getting pushed down into this space, and just that's bringing your legs together. So you're gonna inhale, exhale, suck the stomach into the floor, and bring your legs, let it bring your legs together. The action of the stomach pulling in just pulls your legs together for you. So it should almost feel like you do nothing with the legs. You're pulling the stomach in so deeply into your back, it just snaps your legs together. That's the goal anyway. But inhale, exhale, lower stomach in, let it bring your legs together. Inhale, lower stomach in, legs together. Let's just do that a couple more times. Lower stomach in, legs together. Again, you can be up on the block, up on a roller with this one. Inhale, exhale, lower stomach in, legs together. Good. And then we're gonna bring your legs down here, and we're gonna take the balls out from underneath your hips. We're gonna squeeze one ball between your knees and lift your toes up. And then we're just gonna do a little bit of a bridge where scoop the lower tummy in, squeeze and curl the hips up a little bit. Now you wanna think again of pulling your heels to your glutes, right? So that the back of the leg comes on here, and then we'll slowly roll it into the floor. Okay, so you're gonna inhale, exhale, really squeeze and get your inner thighs on, tuck into that 12 o'clock position to curl your hips up, pull heels to glutes, and then curl down. Let's do this 2 more times, right? Inhale, exhale. You can see I can actually kind of pull my glutes closer to my heels because I've practiced this so much, right? And then one more time, scoop your lower tummy in, pull, 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 really actively pull. You don't need a lot of equipment to really make your body work if you just use your own resistance here and your imagination a little bit. And then we're gonna bring the hands over the chest here to add on a little bit. We're gonna keep the hips down. Now we can rest the feet. We're gonna inhale, exhale, push your armpits down to your waist, drop your chest, and you curl up. And then lower stomach in and up. Good, and we'll hold it here. And then we're gonna inhale to come down. And then exhale to curl up. Drop your shoulders, try to drop your chest sternum down. Come in, drop the ribs. Good, and then we'll come all the way down, inhale. If you need to support your neck, you can with the hands behind the head, right? And we're gonna inhale, exhale, curl up. You want the whole back on the floor. You're gonna try to breathe into the ribs back here, and then come up a little higher, and then come all the way down, inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna curl up and hold it for 3, 2, 1. And we'll come all the way down, inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna curl up and we're gonna try to hold it for 4, 3. Breathe into the back to keep these ribs down. Good, 2, 1. We're gonna go up to 10, so we're gonna add 1 each time. So now we're up to 5, okay? Inhale, exhale, curl up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I came up with this one for myself after I had my second baby because my ribs were really pushed up and out like this, and I wanted to bring them back and in so I could open up my back again. My back was kind of stuck in this very arched position, right? And it hurt a lot, right? And so now we're gonna curl up and hold for 6, 5, and you're just gonna stay up high and try to get higher. Stay up high, try to get higher, right? And never coming down lower, yeah? 2, 1, and we'll come down, and then we're gonna try to not let the ribs pop up, but keep them in, and now we're gonna do 7. So we're gonna inhale, exhale, curl, hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, inhale, and then we'll curl up, and for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, inhale, good, and then exhale, curl, hold for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, keeping the ribs in, and then exhale, curl, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing through this one. 4, 3, 2, 1. And come all the way down, keeping the ribs in. Now, if you happen to have osteoporosis and you shouldn't be flexing into the mat, then what you're gonna do instead of being on the floor is you're gonna be on your hands and knees. And you're gonna scoop your lower tummy in and up like a cat, and then you can just hold it here as you add the breath. So you're gonna inhale into the back, and then exhale, stomach in and curl. Inhale, exhale, stomach in and curl, and then you'll come out of it, and then you'll keep adding until you get to 10. If you want to get fancier, you can turn the toes up, float your knees, and curl, and then hold it in this position. Just remember to keep the armpits to the waist here a lot, right? So you can keep adding your breaths to 10 there. Okay, and then just to finish for lower back exercises, we're gonna lie on your tummy here. Okay, and we're gonna have the arms here at your side, okay, like a cactus here out to the side, right? And then we're going to do a little bit of extension. Here, it's important to remember to try to think of that you're trying to hover your abs off the floor and tuck your tailbone slightly into the floor, okay? Because what can happen is we can overarch in here, and it's not good for your back, and you'll come up and there'll be way too much pressure in here. So you wanna try to think of lifting your abs, working your abs while you're lying on them, and tucking into the floor there with your pelvis. We're gonna float the arms off the floor. You're gonna think of pulling the arms into the sockets, letting the head float out. So think of a wine opener. You pull the arms down, and it pops the head like it's your cork out of the bottle, right? So you're gonna think of the wine opener here. So we'll have the cactus arms, pull the arms into the sockets, right? And it's gonna lift your chest a little bit. Inhale, and then exhale, lower down. And then inhale. You can rest the hands here if you want, and then exhale, lower down. Then we're gonna come up, inhale, hold it. We're gonna look side to side, to the right, look to the left, look center, and then release. And then we can just do one more of those. Inhale. Good. Armpits into the sockets, right? Look side to side. Make sure you're using your back muscles and your lats, keeping that tailbone into the floor a little bit. Good. And hopefully that makes your lower back feel a lot better. There you have it, 5 therapeutic Pilates exercises to help alleviate lower back discomfort and promote better mobility. Remember to listen to your body, move mindfully, and breathe deeply throughout the practice. If you enjoyed this session, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more therapeutic Pilates and movement videos. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next session. Take care.